What's up guys, Cables here. Today I'm going to do my review of Star Wars The Clone Wars Season 4 Episode 21, and the title was called Bounty, and this was part 1 of the Season 4 finale of Clone Wars. And I gotta say, this episode was pretty good, so let's get right into it. So, in this episode it focused on Savas Oprez as he's looking for his brother Darth Maul because, you know, he needs somebody to help him finish his training because, you know, the whole thing with Count Dooku failed and with Ventress, and pretty much he needs somebody to teach him the ways of the dark side of the Force and to complete his training. Because what I liked about Savas is that he's actually very strong. I mean, even Count Dooku, you know, in the beginning of the episode, he noticed that he's getting stronger and stronger, and that he is a potential threat to not only to him and, you know, the Separatists, but to the Jedi themselves. Because here's this creature this beast who has like this raw power, but he doesn't know how to control it. So that's a huge danger factor that you know, that he can be potentially danger to the Jedi Order, to whoever comes in his path. And right now in this episode, you know, Savas was looking for his brother, and then Mother Talzin was actually helping him by sending out clues, and with the talisman that she gave Savas, it actually is confirmed that Mother Talzin is still alive, because from the Massacre episode, it looked like she died, but pretty much she just kind of turned into like almost like a spirit form in a way, and then she just disappeared. And so in this episode, Savas had landed on a junkyard planet, and before that, you know, he was in the restaurant, you know, he was just looking for clues, and then he noticed on some cargo that there was like some dust, and that this dust actually came from a junkyard planet, which he went to, you know, look for his brother. And it just so happened, it was funny, because as soon as, you know, Savas was on the planet with the restaurant and stuff, Anakin and Ahsoka had just happened to go to this restaurant for some lunch, or to get something to eat actually. And it is funny that how they would just show up, and then Anakin was also feeling that something was wrong, that there was a disturbance within the Force, because but, you know, he couldn't really explain it, who it was or what could it be. And then, you know, Savas enters on the junkyard planet, when it looks really depressing, the planet. I mean, it was just scrap metal everywhere, and this scavengers and stuff like that. It was just really depressing. And it makes sense for Darth Maul to be here, and I'll get to do a little later in the review. So basically, Savas is running around the planet, and then he meets this snake, and pretty much the snake decides to help Savas and basically help him find whoever he's trying to look for. And then we meet with some scavengers, and pretty much Savas slaughters them, and the snake actually helps Savas by helping him not getting killed, because he was almost got shot, but pretty much, you know, they were no match for Savas anyways. And so they're still like walking, and they had to take shelter in some, because there was like acidic rain, I believe. And so when they went to this like little shelter, they noticed that there was a whole bunch of dead bodies, and Savas was kind of losing hope. But then out of nowhere, the snake betrayed you know, Savas, and he basically fell in like a deep cave. And I call the creature a snake and not like a junk worm, because, you know, snakes in all, you know, forms of like movies or books or cartoons or whatever, that snakes are always deceitful, you know. They always feature the theme of deception, and this is basically what the snake did, because he wanted the leftovers, and pretty much he worked with this so-called with his master, because before this, the snake was talking about how there was a legend of a horned man who basically takes things from above and takes them below, and they never come back again. And so Savas is walking through the cave and whatnot, and then he meets with this figure, and he doesn't know who it is, and he thinks he did something to his brother, but when he comes into contact with him, he finds out that this was actually Darth Maul. And basically Darth Maul, man, he was in like, he had like robotic legs that were like spider legs, and pretty much, you know, mentally, Darth Maul was just a broken man. You know, he was a shadow of his former self, and he was talking to himself, running away from Savas, and he was like, no, no, I am fear, I am hunter, I am filth, nothing. Like, he was just talking to himself, and it makes sense that he would be like this, because, you know, he was cut in half by a lightsaber by Obi-Wan, and, you know, you don't just shrug that off when you get cut in half. You know, you don't just be like, okay, whatever, I lost both my legs, let me move on with my life. Like, no. like everything was taken away from him and he was left for dead on Naboo. And you know, basically Savas was trying to like talk to his brother and trying to make sense of what he was saying, and then pretty much he says that the Jedi took his legs and that he must have revenge that he must have. And you know, he's a crazy guy. He's gone crazy, but it makes sense, you know, from what happened to him. And then we see it goes back to Yoda, where Yoda, and Obi-Wan actually feel a disturbance within the Force, and Yoda says that Darth Maul has returned and come back from the dead, basically. And Obi-Wan was like, I swore I killed this guy, I cut him in half, but you know, Yoda's like, nope, Darth Maul's still alive. And that's pretty much the end of the episode. So this was part 1 of the season finale of Clone Wars, and it was actually a good episode. You know, we didn't get as much interaction with Darth Maul, but trust me, guys, when we get to part 2, it's really going to be a really good episode. I can tell. I mean, I just finished watching the preview of the episode, and it's going to get good with Savage and Darth Maul. But, you know, seeing the character with Darth Maul, I expected him to be like this, you know, being a broken man, you know. He's just lost his mind, and, you know, everything that he was supposed to be, you know, he was supposed to, you know, be right beside the Emperor, and now he's in a junkyard, you know, feeding, eating off of whatever he can. But yeah, you know, it just makes sense for him to be in this state of mind, and hopefully, you know, Savage can help him out and pretty much guide him to, like, basically guide him to the right path, apparently, and maybe learn some training. Because I hope in the next episode we see a little bit of training between the Darth Maul and Savage, or whatever we'll see from them. But this was a very good episode. Can't wait for the next one for next week. And please let me know your comments below, your thoughts about the episode, what you liked about it, you disliked about it. Please subscribe if you have not already, and if you did enjoy this video and my future content on this channel. And please like this video, give us a thumbs up if you did like it. And yeah, thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you guys next week. Peace.